I'm Rik Sowell, owner of Sowell Architects. We are celebrating our 20th year this year in Conway. Started the business in October of 1995 after a lot of soul searching and doors opening and people pushing me through. And I opened the doors 20 years ago. We've had a really good run. We've done a lot of buildings in Conway and Faulkner County, and grateful for that opportunity to work in this area. We do work all over the state. We're a general practice firm, but of course we enjoy working in our hometown and in the Faulkner County area. 20 years ago when we started, I sat down with Mr. Robert Ott and asked for his opinion and his advice, and he told me that it probably is not a good idea to open up a business in Conway. Fortunately, that's the only advice of his that I didn't listen to. And so we got in at the point where Conway was really developing and a lot of things were going on, and so we had the opportunity to plug in a number of places in retail, in the medical field, and education and business, and a lot of things that we were able to assist with down through the years. And at this point, after 20 years, we probably have more than 100 buildings here in Conway that we've done. And so we've seen the growth of Conway expand from 40-something thousand to 60-something thousand in just a few years. Conway Court building behind me is very important in our portfolio, and I think it is a really good showpiece for us. It's about the size that we enjoy doing. We've had the opportunity to do several that are in this range, but as far as an impact on a city and high visibility, this building ranks way up there for us. We feel like it's a good contribution to the downtown area. It has a lot of old warehouse feel to it, which we feel like is appropriate for this part of downtown, and yet we try to work in a little more modern appeal to it. If I had a stone to throw, I probably could hit several buildings from this point right here. We've had the pleasure, of course, of doing the Conway Court building. We're standing in the parking lot of the BMA building. We were able to do a new corporate headquarters for them, and if you guys remember, this was an old metal building gymnasium that used to sit out here. So we put this whole new front on it. The intent here was to take a building that's near downtown, give it kind of a downtown feel, but at the same time give it sort of a corporate feel. And so we think we accomplished that. And we do have some similar materials in these two buildings. My career started just right back over here on Robinson Street here in Conway with First Baptist Church. Did that about 23 years ago. If you look back over down south from where we are right now, we have the Boys and Girls Club out there. We have the new boys baseball fields. The building that goes in there, and then we also have the new courts building, the 4-story courts building for Faulkner County that's right down here on German Lane. Directly behind me downtown, we've remodeled the Federal building, we've done the E.M. Jeans building, the Tacos for Life building, and so from this downtown area, we hope that we've left a footprint. I've been at this a long time, so I've learned a lot. The thing that I discovered very early on is that there's a budget that's associated with every project. And architects like to think that they've got a lot of freedom to design. In fact, your freedom is very limited. You're limited by budgets on every project. You're limited by building codes. You're limited by clients' wants and needs and desires, their expectations for the building. And so there are a lot of things that are limiting your design. Even the HVAC and the electrical systems have impact on what you're doing. So you've got to design a building within all of those parameters, and then at the same time you got to make it look good and you've got to make it functional. When we studied in college, we were much freer to let our minds wander and do some things that were really fun. But when you get out into the real world, there are a lot of limitations that you have to design within. And I would say budget's probably the biggest of all. The field of architecture has changed tremendously, as you can imagine, just like every other field over the last 20 years. Technology is primarily the reason for that change. And so the way that you present a building has become very important. The big thing that we have to do is communicate to our clients what they're getting for their money. And so with the new computer technology that we have now, the ability to create realistic images, the ability to actually go online perhaps and pick the exact brick we're going to use on the building and then put that into the image that we're producing, we can come up with a very realistic image, and so the client has really no question as to what the building is going to look like. I'd like to say it's been a pleasure being in Conway, been an honor. We are grateful to the clients that we have who've entrusted their work to us, and yeah, I will add this, we've been around for 20 years, we're set up for another 20 years, and hopefully it'll go beyond that too.